All right, shalom, shalom. Quick little, walking talk. Right, the elements, getting a little walk in, but wanted to jump into the quick topic of what's been going around. The MOTB, you had Nate talking about it. And you also had another Jake saying that he had a dream he got downloaded from the Most High, right? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that won't be a mark of the beast, right? So before I open up, I want to give all ongoing praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles, great millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to feel like men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth with all sincerity throughout four corners of the earth. And shalom to you very, very free sincere sisters. Right? So like I said, it's the MOTB talk, walking talk. Right? Jake was just pretty much coming in saying that, he had a vision from Yahweh Shem Yahushua that it's not gonna be no MOTB. Right? So with that being said, he was trying to say like it's they're trying to keep you sleep as long as you can. That's an indicator to keep people asleep. Thinking that you have more time, right? When everything that Jake was saying is really false, because how society is moving, how the dollar's about to crash, right? Those are indicators letting you know that they're finna leave from a dollar system. They're gonna leave from a dollar system to They're gonna leave from a dollar system to a cashless system, digital ID, right? That's why he said in the book of Romans 13 and 11, it says, Slakia, excuse me, that is high time to wake out of sleep, roughly paraphrasing, right? Knowing the time, right? And I know, and I think it's in NLT, it phrases, and this is so more urgent, that it's high time to wake out of sleep. Why? Because we know this devil has to come down with great wrath, right? His last trick is to what? To depopulate the earth and also have everybody sea-hipped, right? That is his agenda, And then, that Jake was also saying, like I said, he said it won't be a mark of the beast. He said it won't be a mark of the beast, which we know will. Right. With that being said, the scriptures of when you go into the book of Revelation 13 and 16, we can really start at 15. You really start at 14 on down. We just talk about how he gonna come with these miracles. Right. You have people that's paralyzed that can pretty much walk. People that can use their brain to control the mouse. Right. You got this man Esau. Shalom alaikum. Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You have this devil bringing out those miracles to deceive the world, right? Right now, he's making it comfortable to people to lure the people in to receive the MOTB. Then next, he's going to what? Bringing those draconian laws to where you can't move without having this MOTB. And a lot of niggas go against it, But we know in the book of Ezekiel 33 and 33, when all these things shall come to pass, Lord will come, then shall they know that the prophet had been among them, right? Because one thing about it, Jake want to be like the apostles be saying, we have a lot of Johnny-come-latelys, right? They thinking that Lord's going to give them a vision in 2025 that it's not going to be no MOTB. When these scriptures have been written a long time ago, right? It's the book of Habakkuk 2 and 2 said make it plain upon tables. So if it ain't going to be the RFID chip, it ain't gonna be no MOTB. So what is gonna be that the mark of the beast? When you go to the book of Revelation 13 and 16, breaking down the word mark, everything draws to that word. Everything draws to that chip, that digital device. From the device, the instrument they're gonna use to make the incision inside your flesh, all of those things indicate there's gonna be an actual device. 2nd Esdras 15 and 1. You know, speak down the ears of my people the words of prophecy. You know, that will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. You know, so that's why we hear these new niggas to be coming with any kind of doctrine. We make videos, clear it up, and keep it pushing. You know, because we know that these things, false prophets gonna rise. You know, and it's gonna take a lot of niggas that, you know, that believe it. Right? But going down to verse 2, you know, and he said he gonna put them in a book. You know, and that's Jake's main thing. They say they believe in the Lord, but they don't believe in the whole Bible. You know, he wants you to eat the whole roll. You know, but that's going to show you they can't. They only surface level Israelites. You know, they can't dive into the scriptures, the Latin, the Greek, the Hebrew. You know, to get a better understanding. You know, and matter of fact, I did a live not too long ago, and I was going into how I actually seen the lady pay with her hand, with her wrist, both of her. She had the C-hip in both of her wrists. She had the C-hip in both of her wrists, and she was paying for her sub. You know, and on the video, Lord will not be able to find the video and just post it on my page. But the Jake was just really talking about like how he niggas not gonna bow down to the if it was a chip. He said niggas not gonna bow down to it. Niggas not gonna go for it. Yes, he will. Yes, they will. Because only thing Esau got to do is cut the food off. You know, cut off the convenience. Right? And when one side those words, convenience, going to like, you know, a comfortability. I think I said the word wrong. You know, as long as he cut off them people comfort, they gonna go for it. Why? Because niggas looking for that next high. Niggas trying to stay here. So once he issued that MOTB, niggas gonna have to do whatever just to get that chip so they can still maneuver around. You know, and it shit really be annoying when you see these niggas just come in just saying the MOTB is sin. You know what I'm saying? With Nate, shit crazy. You know, like brothers been saying, how can you purchase something with sin? That don't make sense. You know, but you know, in the book of Romans 3:3, it goes into how for what if some did not believe. Right? Because a lot of people don't believe that this MOTB is the charagma, right? Which is that small grain of rice device, you know? But we days away, right? We days away. Rather it's months, but we know we days away from it, right? And really, that was really it. You know, I just had to just, you know what I'm saying? When you walking, you be thinking about all the videos you done watched throughout the day, and you just want to do a quick live. You know, but we at that time where we about to see every nigga heathen, right, that was going against the MOTB. We about to see the saltiness on their face. Hey, starting with the ones that know they Israel. You know, and the main one to show is that nigga Nate, man. You know, like brother was saying, that man got a smooth ass breakdown on the MOTB. I mean, on the name. So like on the name, right, from back then. All of a sudden, now you don't even teach it no more. You know, you say it at whenever you feel. You know, you say it ain't the charagma. You just now going inside the blue letter. You know, so that's why we really can't wait until this MOTB drop, man. This society collapse. You're going to see who really had the truth the whole time. Who was really trying to warn you, prepare you for Esau coming down with that great wrath. Because he definitely coming with it. Right? And like I said, you know, Ezekiel 33:33, when all these things shall come to pass, they're going to know that the prophet was among them. And I wish I can, matter of fact, just bear with me, Salaki. I got my other phone with me. I just got to just play some of that clip, man. That shit just, Jake bugged out. So I'm going to just start walking right quick. Lord willing, y'all can hear this.
But there will not be a mark of the beast. I'll repeat it. I'll repeat this again. There will not be a mark of the beast. They put that in the Bible to make you believe that you have more time than you really do. Because if your mindset is like, oh, we can't be at the end yet because the mark of the beast hasn't happened, then you think
gonna stop right there because now it's not even that. Well, partially yeah, partially no, because we have not just the MOTB, we have other indicators. You know, the uprising of the people. You know what I'm saying? The food famines, right? The famine hearing the words of the Lord, right? And the thing about it, see, that goes to show you that Jake really don't understand order. You know, prophecy's not going to just skip over this. So we can't just have World War III and then you have the MOTB. That ain't gonna make sense. You know, it has to go in order. So you're gonna have food famine. You're gonna have Jacob trouble, and then you're gonna have the MOTB, right? Because the MOTB is attached to Jacob's trouble. That's the cure for Jacob's trouble, right? That's like to make everything calm down is the MOTB, right? Let me play some more of this right quick.
Not only that, if they were to actually implement a Mark of the Beast system, dude, nobody, that would be too obvious. Nobody would go for that.
Nigga said nobody would go for it, which we already see. A lot of folks already buying it. They already selling it for like $200, right? Like I seen, I did a video, you know, some time ago when they were just talking about like the MOTB. You can buy it from like a tattoo artist, and the dude was selling them. He got the place, the company was it in Wisconsin, Oregon, Walletmore. You know, that warehouse. They was doing it inside the vicinity, right? Inside the warehouse. Even my job, they have the MOTB ready. You know, they have the MOTB ready for like the key fobs. Those key fobs is a small representation of the MOTB, man. Right? Let me play a little bit more and I'm gonna just close out. I ain't really had no scriptures to really read. I just want to go off the top of my head and just read, quote them.
Everybody will rebel against that. Nobody will go for that.
And then just like this, right? He said nobody's going to go for it, right? See, the thing about it is, see, us men of the Lord, right? And you few sincere sisters, we're preparing ourselves in the spirit. So therefore, the world, yes, they're going to go for it because why? Once Esau comes down with that wrath, see, that's the thing about it. When he comes with those draconian laws, right? You can't eat, you can't go to the next city without having this device. Niggas going to bow down to it. They don't have no wisdom, knowledge, truth, and understanding to keep them stable. So yes, excuse me, they're gonna go for it. He's saying niggas not gonna go for it. Oops. It's like, damn, Jake liable to goddamn pancake me, boy. Almost ran me over. Right? But try a little bit more of this.
At all. They made it up.
Right, and that's the funny thing about it. Jake say, you know, he made it up, right? So that means the scriptures is false, right? Which we wrote them down, you know, and what is it? Amos, right? Amos 3:7, right? It says, surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto the servants, the prophets, right? And that's the thing about it. Jake wasn't revealed the secrets, so therefore he don't know the secrets. So therefore, with them not knowing the secrets, they just spew out madness, saying ain't gonna be no MOTB, you know? Like I said, Amos 3:7, right? The Lord gonna reveal his secret, right? The prophecies to his true servants, the prophets, right? Starting with the apostles, a great missile on down. You know, it's simple. Like, well, it's simple to the it's plain, right, to the Lord's elect, right, and the stumbling block to the wicked, roughly paraphrasing. Let me play a little bit more.
Put it in the Bible. All praise to the Most High. To make you think. I'll say it again. To make you think or believe that you have more time than you really do. We are at the end. Everything, I believe, 99% of Bible prophecy has already happened. Already happened. And yeah, there's going to be some things that still happen, and right? Yeah, we're seeing that now with the weather, and Yeah, sure. But a lot of it has already happened. They have to keep you SLEEP for as long as possible, for as long as they possibly can, so they can take so your SOUL can go right with them. With that, I digress.
You said to take your SOUL with them, right? And that main thing, see, and that's how you know Jake don't even understand. With you taking that MOTB, that chip, right? That's pretty much you handing your soul over to Esau Edom. You know, you're letting this man penetrate you for the last time. You know, physically this time, right? Because he already got a lot of these niggas spiritually, right? But this time it's going to be physical with that C-hip, right? And the thing about it is, when we bring up this topic, right, you don't see niggas doing a breakdown on it. You just hear them going against it. You just hear them say, and the MOTB is not the Karagan, the RFID chip, and cut off the camera. They won't say what the MOTB is. Why? It's because they don't really know what it is. They just want to just come against the you know, the true doctrine, you know. But it says it's Isaiah 8:20, to the law and to the testimony, they speak not according to his words because there's no light in them. And that's what we see. Like when we barely talk to these niggas, man. We just do a video and throw up a curse and keep it pushing, you know. Because you going back and forth with one of these niggas, man, you're not gonna win. I mean, you're gonna win. You'll win, but it's pointless. It ain't nothing to be boasted about. Oh, I cut a Christian, you know. It's just whatever, man. We gonna see in the end, you know. Shalom, malak, Yahba Shemel Shabrakatah, you know. But yeah, man, Romans 13:11, man. For now it's hot time to wake out of sleep, right? For our salvation near than we believe, you know. Our salvation is nearer than we believe, and we understand that. What I think is in 24 Matthew, you know, the disciples asking, what's gonna be the end, right? He said, what's gonna be the end? So he said, give them signs, right? Excuse me. Shalom, Yahweh Shema Shabrakatah. Hey, Khan, let me read this from the brother Nair, 144K, Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend you. So like I'm trying to walk and talk for real, trying to stop and talk. But yeah, Khan, you know, just the point. You don't need to be going back and forth with these niggas, man. You know, because we already know the truth, right? And that's why we just like, you know what? If you believe, you believe. If you don't, shit, oh well, we about to see anyway. You know, like I said, Romans 3:3. Matter of fact, I bring it up since I can sit down now. Come, man, and Shalat Rayam to these 2/3, man. Right? Because they're not going against it, they're really going against the Lord, man. Romans 3:3. It says, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect? Right? God forbid, yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar. Right? So we're going to let these niggas just be a liar. We'll let the Most High be true, right? We say we believe it's the MOTB. We're going to watch it play out. That's all we can do right now. You know, we're going to watch it play out. Right? Khan, Thawada, and Thawada as well, Nair, Thawada. Ezekiel, right, from Brother Hope Great Mercy 144. It says Ezekiel 3:17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Right? And that's so heavy because you were a watchman. You know, see, these other niggas say it's not the MOTB, so what is it? You know, that be the question that we send back to them through a video. Like I said, I don't want to talk to no nigga, period. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm on the line, you know, the moment I feel as if you're trying to go against it, bye. You know what I'm saying? But so what is it? What is it if it's not the MOTB? You know, because saying it's sin doesn't hold weight. That's madness. You know, white women, that's madness, right? But it says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel, right? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me, right? And what other camp that you see that's breaking down the MOTB to the T, you know? Like literally going from the word charagma, mark. Then you dive into to the Greek to charagma, right? Then you dive into the root word of charagma going to karax. It's like going to karax, meaning what is going to be a device. I mean, an instrument that's going to what pierce the skin, you know. And then you got that word grapho, right, with the root word of karax, you know, which going to have all your records, you know, on this device. Right, let me read this one the brother had put up of Ezekiel 3:18. It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning. And that's our job, right? See, niggas that say the MOTB is not the chip. They're not warning nobody what it is though. They just saying it's not that though, you know. So how you say you care for the flops? You're not telling them what really going on, right? It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, thou givest him not warning, right? And that's our job, you know what I'm saying? So you got to give these folks warning, man. It says, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life. The same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I acquire at thine hand. And that's the thing about that, and that's our job. That's all we have to week in and week out. You know what I'm saying? The brothers in GMS, the affiliate brothers, right? We pushing out videos each and every time you look up, man, you got 50 notifications from a brother going going live. A brother just dropped the video. You know what I'm saying? Because they warning. That's a true job of a watchman, right? When you sit on the watchman, you think about a watchtower, of an ancient watchtower. You know, you around four corners, right? And anything move, you blowing that horn. You know, you blowing that distinct sound of a horn, right? Letting them know what's really going on, right? Right now, what? Ecclesiastes, I think it's 3. You know, talk about the seasons, right? And we're in that season of what? War. You know, we in the season of what? Esau coming down with great wrath. We in the season of one rulership going down, one rulership going up, right? Esau going down, and us coming up, us Israelites, right? We see those things now, so that's more urgent to even blow the horn. You know, we know the door. With all that being said, you know the doors of mercy is closing, right? Okay, that was 18. This is Brother Hope, Great Mercy 144. 1 Timothy 1:12. It reads, and I thank Hamashiach Yahushua our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the because everybody can't do this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't do it. A lot of these niggas sit behind the keyboard. You know what I'm saying? A lot of brothers ain't never really put their boots on the ground and stood on their line and really deal with whatever come to them. You know, a lot of them's not built for it. They just built to go against it. You know, but hey, you say it's better to tie a millstone around that neck. You know what I'm saying? Really, you know what I'm saying? Really go play in traffic, man. Than really be trying to go against the men of the Lord. You know, Ezekiel 33:33. And when this come to pass, Lord will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them, right? And that, man, I probably say this about every day, that scripture. When these things shall come to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. You know, and that's, you know, being humble, you know, but we see the things happen, right? When we go to the book of Habakkuk, you know, I just quoted Habakkuk 2:2. You know, we're making it plain upon tables, right? We're making this plain. We're talking about Jacob's trouble, right? You had Nate saying it wasn't gonna be a time of Jacob's trouble. Hey, we're making it plain upon tables, man. We showing you how this thing finna get to boiling and how it's gonna boil over, right? Whether you believe it or not. But when this shit do happen, you know, you gonna know, hey, them men was right, you know. And don't nobody get mocked and scoffed more than the brothers that believe in the great millstone doctrine. Amos 3:6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people be not afraid, right? And that's what we doing. Niggas still in La La Land right now. Niggas still in La La Land, right? But that's how it was on what was it? Is it World War Z? Is it Tracy Morgan? When they was looking at the little cherry looking thing, little insect looking thing come out the ground, nigga was just looking stargazing until that bitch get to zapping folks. You know, then niggas start scattering like roaches. It says, shall there be evil in the city and the Lord have not done it? And that's what the Lord's doing right now. He's fucking these folks up, man. You know, 2/3 is getting spanked. You know, you got weird weather. You got Esau pushing away from all his allies. You know, when the Lord cranking this shit up, man. Kind of in the water for these precepts too, man. the water. It says Ecclesiastes 3:1, right? It says, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven, right? And that's how we navigate through this time. And that's how we know where we at. That's how we we confidently say we at the end, because the dollar ain't shit, right? We in that transition from the dollar going out and the MOTB coming in, and we know at the end, right? We know what talk about in the book of Job, how we know that when he's gonna try to pretty much try to get off his new enterprise, which is gonna be the MOTB, and that's when the Lord's gonna come in and reign on it, right? That's why it's man, these niggas don't know what the hell they be talking about. But it says, to every season, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up, which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up. My main point is really in verse 8, but I'll read them though. A time to weep, and a time to, I'll read that one too, right? Because it is time to weep and a time to laugh. We in that weeping season. We in that mourning season as well. Ain't shit to be smiling about. Ain't shit to be dancing about. Right? That's how it was in the book of Matthew 24. We talking about Noah. They was eating and giving in the marriage. Not paying attention. Right? Not paying attention to what this man is bringing you. Right? Bringing you bad news, which really is good news. Right? Because we finna get out of this hellhole. Right? Verse 5. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing. Verse 6, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away. Hey, we get, man, keep reading. Verse 7, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak. Hey, right? I think about the book of Amos 8 and 11, Right now, I'm speaking. Right now, what the scripture says is we able to do work right now. It's light, right? We ultimately coming to a time where it ain't gonna be no more light. It ain't gonna be no more works to be done. All right, it's gonna be silence, right? So we are in that speaking season. We come to a time where Ezekiel 3, chapter 3, somewhere. I think 25. Correct me if I'm wrong, but our tongue gonna be cleaved to the roof of our mouth. And we getting closer to that, man. Brothers' videos be getting clipped. Brothers, you know what I'm saying? Some videos you don't even know they even got clipped until you so happen just to, look back on your profile, right? Verse 8, it says a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace, right? Jeremiah 28 and 8. The prophet that been before me prophesied of old against many countries, war, evil, and pestilence, man. Bad times on bad times on bad times, and that's where we at. Right, and the MOTB is that cherry on top. Ecclesiastes 7:2. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. Right, and that's what these other camps is at. They're in the house of feasting. They're not ready to get up out of here, man. That's why the Lord says. And that's why matter of fact, the beloved brother had a dream like that. With Nate. You know what I'm saying? No folks was going to a different room, and it wasn't a room that you wanted to go into. Because why? They not in the house of mourning. They don't want to get up out of here, man. That was them same spirit that want to go back to Egypt, man. And they made a living. Them niggas is really Lot's wife in the spirit, man. Right? And all these other niggas like Sakari, right? Gorilla Hebrew. What's the peanut head ass nigga name? Hakah, Deacon Hakah, right? That nigga remind me of them peanuts off the Proud Family movie. Ecclesiastes 7:3. It says sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance the heart is made better, right? Because we the one that's going through it. Man, niggas wake, man. Look, bro. If anybody tell you, I'll tell you, bro. I find more peace when I be going to sleep at night. When I wake up, be like, fuck, bro, this shit again. Gotta make my way back to the plantation again. Right, verse 4. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, right? Because in the day, we plead unto the Lord, we begging. You know what I'm saying? Ezekiel 9 and 4, right? We know about how the angels finna come through zapping shit, man. But he gonna set that tawa, right, that mark of exemption upon those men it's in the house of mourning, right, that's begging to get up out of here. While the rest of them, he coming through spanking shit, zapping the dust. Why? Because they didn't regard the time. They didn't want to get their house in order for real. They didn't want to go to the house of mourning, right? It says, but the heart of fool is in the house of mirth, right? In the book of Isaiah, in the book of Isaiah 26 or 24, it said the mirth of the land has ceased, you know. Let me read this last one. And the water, man, you went slap crazy with the precepts too. Ecclesiastes 21 and verse 20. A fool lifteth up his voice with laughter, but a wise man doth scarce but a wise man doth scarce smile a little. Right. And then when you really look at a lot of the brothers, you know, we smile here and there, but we really ain't got really nothing to really smile about. Well, I'll say this, you know, when amongst the brethren, we smile, you know what I'm saying? Because that's just the best time we see a piece of the kingdom. You know, was when we're around the brothers. It's like, damn. You know, like the thing that I always think about is we all in the same boat, different seats. You know, so that's the only time you really see us brothers smiling, because it's like, damn, this brother going through shits, I'm going through shits, and we going through the on the same path. You know, that's the only time you really see brothers smile. You catch a brother by himself, you be like, hey, such and such. He turn around, but man got a frown on his face. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it be, because why we know this place is the vex, and that's the spirit you're supposed to be in, because now you praying to the Lord to come get you. You know, you can do the things that you want, that the Lord commands you to do. So you pretty much you doing to the Lord's requirements. You doing his requirements, so you able to what possibly get salvation, man. I know it took a little turn from the MOTB, but hey, man, it's all through the spirit and the water as well, right? That was really it on that. And I don't think I had nothing inside my I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, can you read, brother? You already said it, really. Ezekiel 33 and 33, right? Matter of fact, let me say that that Revelation 13 and 16 right quick. I want to end it off on that, because like I said, when I started off the video, the Jake was just saying the MOTB is not gonna be there isn't gonna be no mark of the beast. Yeah, he just flat out took the mark of the beast out. Right. Matter of fact, is that inside Revelation 20? When he was like add in and take away, or is it 22? I think it's in 22. Well, I can read this one right quick till I find the other one. Baba Kushai, brother, can you put that the scripture when he talk about added and taken away? I think it's verse 18. Yeah, 18 and 19. But if you can, you can put it up there, Baba Kushai. I'm gonna read verse 11 right quick. This is Revelation 22 and 11. He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Right? So kind of let them niggas stay where they at. They thinking they gonna be the mark of the beast. All right, we'll see. Right? Cause we know how Esau gonna do it. Right? It's gonna be an overnight thing. You know, it's gonna be a excuse me. It's gonna be an overnight thing when this man crashed the system. Right? See, that's why I ain't had it highlighted. This Revelation 22 and 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, the Most High shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. Right? He gonna add the ass whooping that he coming. He gonna add that shit to you. Right? Let me read verse 19. I'm gonna close out. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, the Most High shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city and from the things which are written in this book. Right? Because with that being said, you pretty much trying to say the words of the Lord is not going to come true. Right? Which is really off. Right? Isaiah 55 and I think like verse 9 to 10 or 11. You know, saying his words will come back into him void, man. Right? So you know these prophets are going to come to pass, man. Right? So yeah, I'm gonna close out with that, man. The water, you know, tuning in with me, a good walking talk. Right, but I'm gonna close out by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua by Shem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles, of great millstone, rule well and teach well. Shalom to the Hopefulelect men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth without sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And shalom to you very few sincere sisters, right, that's taking heed and getting order in these last days. And the water for all the beautiful precepts and just tuning in. Till next time, I say shalom.